Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I'm Andy Signore, and last night was the Super Bowl where the Kansas City Chiefs won an amazing victory. Kudos to everyone out there in Kansas City, Missouri. Your team did great, even if my team, the Eagles, wasn't there. Andy Reid's an old coach of the Eagles, so I was rooting for him, and I'm glad they pulled it off. So kudos again to Kansas City Chiefs. But let's not talk about football. This is Popcorn Planet. We talk about movies, and I watched the Super Bowl for the commercials. And so it's time to judge what was the best commercial of last night's game. And for me, it was easy. Clearly, the title and the thumbnail are giving it away, but I want you to tell me before we even get to it. Go engage, go comment down below and tell me what was your favorite spot in the Super Bowl, big game last night, so we can all compare and talk and share notes. But for me, it was easy. It was this one from Jeep. This amazing recreation, quasi-sequel to Groundhog Day with Phil Connor himself, Bill Murray reprising his role, and a Groundhog Day Jeep commercial. Look, this on paper seems like this could be really dangerous, but what they did was beautiful. I thought it was a very fair homage to the movie with respect to it. Bill Murray, funny. It had all the proper ingredients, the cameos that you'd expect. The location, Ned Ryerson, the location was real. His brother, Brian Dole Murray, and then Puxatawny Phil. And then you just get to do all of this and have a justified reason. He looks over to the Jeep and goes, well, that's new. And then suddenly we get to go to this montage of Bill Murray enjoying himself living Groundhog Day, not trying to just kill himself and be miserable. He realizes, you know what? This is actually awesome. I can drive around in a Jeep. That's how you do a commercial. It fit like a glove. It made sense. I looked at that Jeep and I was like, damn, that looks like a cool car. I like it. It's got the truck bed. It's got wheel. You can take the doors in or out. But it was just a very clever spot. And then, of course, what a genius idea to bring Puxatawny Phil on the whole adventure. He was adorable. You had the cute character. You had funny Bill Murray that you're like, oh my God, he's back. You got this cool looking Jeep. You got a funny premise. And then all of it really worked because of its tagline at the end. That's the key to everything. No day is the same in a Jeep Gladiator. I mean, it's just brilliant. It was a brilliant commercial. Kudos to everyone involved in this spot because to me, that's how you do it. You got to, if you're going to bring the nostalgia member berries in, you got to do them right. But then you got to have a reason for it. It can't feel shoehorned in or disingenuous. And this one didn't feel that way at all. So immediately after I saw this ad, I thought, well, how did they pull this off? How did they get the reclusive Bill Murray to show up for a dedicated Super Bowl spot? Turns out it wasn't easy. Turns out it wasn't easy at all. And here in USA Today, they talked about it. Jeep won the ad meter for their Groundhog Day commercial, but then they share why this was such a difficult spot to bring. So let's look at this. It's a fascinating insight on how they pulled this off. Part of the mystique of Bill Murray is that he's nearly impossible to contact. In Hollywood circles, where everyone has a publicist, an agent, a business manager, or other some kind of representation or assistant, Murray flies solo. This is known across the world. I've seen this. Ted Melfi, who did St. Vincent, Sofia Coppola. So many people are like Wes Anderson. All of them are just like, it took me a year to get Bill Murray. So that doesn't surprise me at all. That's always what he's known for, of being sort of hard to pin down to do something. He doesn't have a phone, doesn't have an agent, doesn't have an email. Fiat Chrysler Automobile's chief marketing officer, that's who owns Jeep, Oliver François, I'm going to try and say it in my French there, told USA Today Sports on Friday he allegedly has an 800 number. You leave a message and maybe he'll call you back. This idea, this was a challenge, obviously, for the idea that they had when his team came up with it. It was a brilliant response to the Groundhog Day and finished first in their ad meter. The first time a Jeep title has done this since, I guess, they've been in the top 5. And so, anyway, good on Jeep. You made a lot of awards. Close second was that Smot Pock with Chris Evans. That was a funny one, too. Anyway, no one was as impressed as the Jeep ad, which brilliantly revisited the 1993 film Groundhog Day and for the Jeep Gladiator, a type of pickup truck. Bill Murray said in a news release that it was his first national television commercial, and I'm glad that this is my last commercial as well. Well, never say never with Bill Murray, but smart, sort of funny way to do it. François said he realized a few months ago that Super Bowl Sunday would fall on Groundhog Day. Good work doing your homework. Something the company said it has only happened twice in 54 years. It's like Halley's Comet or something. So it was brilliant because they dropped it that morning when Groundhog Day and everyone's talking about Groundhog Day. And suddenly we had Bill Murray reprising Groundhog Day. And then you have it for the Super Bowl. Everything fell in line for Jeep on this spot, which was just happens very rarely. Soon the idea for the spot crystallized. So François reached out to Murray and then nothing. Weeks and weeks of nothing. François said he had watched YouTube videos of interviews with director Sofia Coppola in which she said it took her a year to secure Murray's participation in Lost in Translation. But François didn't have a year. He had weeks. And if Murray wasn't going to participate in the spot, Jeep wasn't going to go ahead with it. It all hinged on him. Imagine this. I bet you they spent a lot of money on that set and they're like, is he going to show up? They don't even talk about this here, but I've heard that like they on Ghostbusters, he's going to be in the new Ghostbusters. Like, yeah, we're hoping he shows up. But you could have this whole crew, everything's there, and then we'll even come to the shoot. It's wild how Bill Murray lives, but it's also kind of why we love him, I think. Fortunately, he went to a dinner party that Murray was at once upon a time, and they had a mutual friend. It's a miracle because obviously the guy has no manager, but he has friends. He has no phone number, but his friends have phone numbers. Imagine being Bill Murray's friend, constantly having to be like, hey, can you ask Bill something for me? It's got to get annoying. But clearly, François was like, money? We're going to give him a lot of money. We'll give you some too if you get it done. Please just get me to Bill Murray. It's a miracle because obviously the guy is, we said that. Murray eventually got back to him. More importantly, agreed to reprise his iconic role of Phil Connors from the 1993 film Groundhog Day. So Jeep, in consultation with his agency High Dive, got to work. They recruited other members. I guess he did agree before they showed up to set. They recruited other members of the cast, including Murray's brother, Brian Dole Murray, as well as Ned Ryerson, Stephen Tobolsky. They also went to the original location. For those that didn't even realize, they don't shoot this in Puxatawny, Pennsylvania. They shot it in Woodstock, Illinois. So they went back to that location. They licensed the Cher song that plays in the Sonny and Cher, I Got You, Babe, throughout the movie from Warner. That's expensive too. And they got the blessing of Sony, which produced the film, so they could use all the themes and characters. Money. Man, money, money, money. This was not a cheap commercial. Jeep's got money, but whoo, this was a costly commercial, no doubt. Everything had to be absolutely authentic to the original. Murray on board Jeep secured what was known as a floating spot. So they didn't even have a guaranteed spot. They didn't know exactly when the commercial would air. And the company spokesman said they didn't even finish shooting until the January 26th, a week before the Super Bowl. François said it was all worth it because of Murray, who he believes is a perfect embodiment of what Jeep represents. There's a sense of freedom in all he pursues. He will do things on his own terms. He's not going to do a commercial or even a movie if it's not what he deeply feels like doing. He's adventurous. He's original. In the spot, which aired late in the fourth quarter, Murray again finds himself living in the same day over and over again. The opening scene is pulled straight from the movie, only this time Murray wakes up in the present day. Oh no, he says as he gets out of bed. The notable difference from the movie, though, is the presence of the Jeep Gladiator, which transforms Murray from loathing his return to Groundhog Day to loving it. He wakes up more excited every day and goes on a series of adventures with the Groundhog, from riding bikes and watching fireworks to a comical scene in which he plays a game of whack-a-mole with the Groundhog watching. It's not personal. It's just a game. It's all funny ad-libs. Apparently Murray came up with a lot of the lines in the commercial off script and described him as a creative genius. He admitted it's no secret why Murray agreed to participate. This was as much a homage to Groundhog Day 28 years later as it was a commercial for Jeep. It was as much a tribute to the movie's fans as it was a pitch to buy a pickup truck. At least he's being honest. It was both of those things, but when it's a cool pickup truck, I'm a little bit more okay with it. All told, François considered the ad to be a product of a few miraculous turns. One is that Super Bowl Sunday aligned with Groundhog Day. The other is that François was able to not only get in touch with Murray, an almost impossible feat, but that the 69-year-old actor agreed to participate. He never did a commercial, never intended to do one, but he did this one, which is a miracle indeed. Really fun spot. I really did enjoy it. Don't take it personal. That's the spot idea, the idea of it right there. And if you guys didn't watch already, there is this. I think did I say this already? There's a longer cut you can go watch of more of it. And there's a really funny part. I got to be careful to play scenes, but he walks in this restaurant. She's like, "Sorry, we don't allow animals here." And he says, okay. The clock comes back, and then he comes back. It's an emotional support groundhog, and then has no problem getting in. She takes him to get a seat. The ad is filled with a lot of fun stuff. I love I was following directions from you. You didn't tell me where to go. It's just a really cute spot, partnering him with have him some a serious foil there just to ad-lib with. I'm sure there were a lot of fake, stuffed, and real groundhogs he was working with. I can only assume that. But again, this idea, have the day of your life over and over again, it's just really smart branding. and it's a really cute Groundhog, and it does look like a pretty cool truck. So overall, easily the best one for me of the Super Bowl. Really clever spot. Good job to all those involved for pulling that off. I love when you can when a plan comes together in that sort of way that we can get sort of a fun, nostalgic look back at Groundhog Day without it seeming like, ugh, why are you doing this? Sometimes ads can do that, and this one felt fair, genuine, and just fun. And it fit. It was a clever way to justify why are we going over again. It was Groundhog's Day. It was a Super Bowl spot. Everything aligned for this one to work. So bravo, team. What did you guys think? Was this one your favorite as well? What else did you like? Did you like all the movie spots? Hit me down in the comments below or on social media. And please engage with the algorithm here to like this video. If you got this far, leave a nice comment. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Or check out Join. We got some awesome membership opportunities for you to be a real, true popcorn planeteer here on the channel. So come back. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll be back with more content very soon. Bye, everybody.